What's up guys, Brad Chappell back with you. Top 3 setups for the month of August. It's hot, fish are scattered. You gotta cover a lot of water in the month of August to stay on top of catching crappie. I'm gonna show you 3 different setups that I utilized in the month of August to catch a lot of crappie. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, follow us on Facebook, join us on Tuesday night, today's bite. Let's get it. All right guys, my first setup for the month of August is gonna be pulling planer boards. I know it's a lot of work, but when you come to scattered lethargic fish, the name of the game is going to be covering water and finding as many active fish as possible. Now I'm utilizing the Church Tackle TX mini planer boards with the flag kit. So as it gets bit, that flag pulls down and lets me know I've got a fish on. Great way to cover a lot of water and catch a lot of crappie. Now what I'm doing is using Bandit 300s and just clipping them on with a swivel right onto the crankbait. That way if I want to change the colors, it's very easy to do. The all-around best line to use whenever you're pulling planer boards for sure is either a 10-pound or a 12-pound K9, just regular high-vis fishing line. Now how you get the depth for them is using your line counter reels, measure out to the depth that you want, and you can find any of that information on precision trolling apps and different things like that. So for example, I'm wanting to set these crankbaits to run about 7 foot deep. I'm gonna let out 20 foot of line, clip the board onto the line. I'm gonna show you how to clip the board on the line. I'm gonna let out the amount of line that it's calling to get to a certain depth. I'm gonna say I want them to run about 7 foot deep. So I'm gonna pull out 20 foot of line. Pull out to 20, and I'm gonna take the pole itself. First off is, I'm gonna grab the back end of the planer board. And if you open it up, you can see it has a little groove inside that clip. Always run it through there once and make another loop so it'll be on the back side of that clip. I've got it looped around onto my planer board now. Now this will be my port side planer board, so it's gonna be on the right side of the boat. I've got it double clipped around the bottom clip, and on the top end that's going towards the pole, I'm gonna leave just a little bit of slack in it, and I'm gonna clip them on there. I usually try to put the line out of an angle. That way once it gets pulled, I can just pop it and it comes off. And then it falls backwards and you're able to reel it in. I haven't had any kind of issue with these boards falling off or sinking or anything else. You can see the back side's filled with styrofoam, so it keeps them floating. But check out all the different Church Tackle planer boards and trolling accessories they got on their website. You can't go wrong in the month of August pulling planer boards, pulling crankbaits in the month of August. All right guys, my number 2 setup for the month of August is going to be casting these Bobby Garland itty bit swimmers on very light jig heads. Now it's a trick to cast them in the wind, so you got to use a good pole that can get it out there for you. 4 pounds, 6 pound. 4 pound would probably be even a little bit better with this extremely light tackle. I'm using an 8 foot B&M Ultimate Bucks pole. Has a really good action, soft tip, so you can feel these just very light taps. The downside of using very small itty bit jigs is that most of the time these fish are just gonna nip them. They're gonna pick them up, suck them up. They're not gonna use a lot of energy to try to crush them, and you're not gonna feel a big thump usually. On the top side, I'm using a 1/32 ounce, and that's the Moglo white jig head and a key lime pie on the front, tied down about 10 to 12 inches. I'm using a 1/64 itty bit jig head, very light tackle. I want this jig to be able to stay in the brush pile as long as possible, and that's why I'm using really light jig heads to get down there to them and stick around in them before they can suck them up and we can catch them. August can be real finicky fish, so I want something that can stay in the strike zone as long as possible. Make sure you use these discount codes we got for K9 fishing line is Crappie Connection 10, but also all the Bobby Garland products, all the Bandit 300s that I'm showing today, you can take 15% off with a discount code Crappie Connection 15 on lurenet.com. So make sure you check all these great products out by Bobby Garland Baits, and also K9 Fishing. Use those discount codes, save you some more money, get out there, enjoy the summertime while we have it. All right guys, my number 3 setup for the month of August, catching these finicky, hot summertime crappie, is gonna be utilizing an 18-foot black diamond to reach out there and touch them, and utilizing a product that we hadn't talked about a whole lot on here, but it's actually the slab ticklers. And it's a product made by Bobby Garland, but you can see it's just a little blade that you put on your line that just free flows up and down. And on the bottom, I'm using a 1/16 ounce overbite jig head and the Bobby Garland live roamer bait. And that color is called double silver rainbow, which is just a great natural, sunny, bright time day kind of bait. One thing that I like to do is use rubber bobber stops on the top end, 3 or 4 foot up above the jig head itself, and then right before the knot I've got another rubber bobber stop on the bottom just for somewhere for it to stop. But as you can see, as that blade is just twirling, it kind of flutters down and just draws just a little bit more attention to the baits as it's falling down into position. A lot of times these fish, once that blade stops is when they're going to hit it. They see it falling down. As soon as it stops, they're coming to get it. So it's just a good way to catch some finicky summertime crappie utilizing the Bobby Garland live roamer, overbite jig head, and slab ticklers. It's 2 sizes in a pack, and I think about 3 or 4 different colors. So check out the slab ticklers to catch some August crappie. Join us on Tuesday nights live, Dustin McDaniel and myself, talking about everything you can imagine when it comes to crappie fishing. Facebook, YouTube, live every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the future. You got any questions about things, man? Just shoot me a message or an email, crappieconnection@gmail.com. I'd be glad to help you guys out as much as possible. Please hit that subscribe button. Tell your buddies about us. Till next time, Brad Chappell, holla.